Hey, it's Brendo. The good news is out. The Killers are coming back to Australia at the end of the year, November. You can catch them with their Imploding the Mirage tour off the back of the release of the album of the same name on May 29th. To find out a bit more about both, Brandon Flowers from the Killers joins me. Thanks for calling through, Brandon.
How's it going?
Imploding the Mirage, it's the first Killers album to be recorded outside your hometown of Vegas. What sparked that decision, Brandon?
I left Las Vegas about 2.5 years ago. I guess our first single, Caution, is sort of a leaving Las Vegas song. We still went back and recorded a little bit. We have a studio there called Valborn, and we still did some recording there, though.
Let's just touch on Caution. I heard it for the first time yesterday. Sweet Jesus, it is a banger of a song. It's got this real anthemic sort of feel to it, you know. Did you intend it to be an anthem?
You kind of cross your fingers for one, when you're making an album. And it was nice that one presented itself. And it's just, we're really proud of it and really excited that it's coming out finally. It's taken on a lot. We've had a few surprises. We had Lindsey Buckingham is on guitar, and we're just really proud of it.
Sorry, Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac is on guitar on that one.
Yeah. If you listen to the last 40 seconds of the track, it's just Lindsey cutting loose, and it's one of my favorite moments on the record. He really reinforces what I'm saying lyrically, and it's still spiritual and uplifting, and I just love it.
That's blown my mind, because I was listening to it at the end. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was like, first of all, sick. There's a modern song that's got a guitar solo in it, and now my mind is just blown that it is Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. He was probably nervous. You call a guy to the studio, and it's kind of a lot of pressure on somebody on whether or not they're going to be able to deliver. And he just did. And, the stars aligned, and, he just must be, I talked to him about what a romantic he must be. If you listen to that solo, you just hear, it's just beautiful.
Oh, unbelievable. That's the thing. I mean, you hear songs like, Big Love, and you must go, well, this is a man that can deliver. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's one of the legends for sure.
I describe it on first listen, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's this real sort of Day and Age meets Battleborn, dash of Samstown in there. It's got this sort of like LA haze as well about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guys that helped produce the record are very, very LA. Sean Everett and Jonathan Rado. Rado's in a band called Foxygen, and yeah, we were referencing, some of that stuff, the heavy hitters of LA, Fleetwood Mac and Tom Petty, and so it definitely came through on Caution.
And so, I assume, did you write the record in LA, Brendan?
A little bit in Utah and a little bit in LA, yeah.
So, with that change of scenery, not being in Vegas, did that sort of change your songwriting process?
It did. Another thing we did that was kind of cool early on is we got the cover for the album months before the album was finished, so in the very early stages. And it became like a member of the band. And so we would plaster it all over the studio wherever we were. And I would go to it for inspiration and for counsel, and it just really was a helpful thing. Yeah.
So the images are sort of theming the concept, I guess, of the record.
For sure, we were thinking about two people becoming one and becoming eternal. And when you see the cover, you'll see what we're talking about. But it really helped me out. And whenever I was in a pinch, lyrically, I would go to it, and it helped us make this cohesive statement. And I owe a lot to that album cover.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's a really interesting way to write. I love that. If Caution's anything to go by, this album's going to be an absolute belter. As your last five, your catalogue of songs, they're not only growing, but the quality of it is just so impressive. On the Imploding Mirage tour, is it a mammoth effort putting this set list together?
It is. I mean, we're people pleasers too. We really we know that people are paying good money to come see us, and we want to play the songs that they want to hear. And so that's always been part of our agenda. And my favorite concerts that I've ever attended, the bands that I love did that, whether it was Tom Petty or The Cure or Morrissey or Depeche Mode, whoever it was. And so I think, that mentality has seeped into our live shows, and hopefully some of these new songs are going to join the ranks and fit right in with the old ones.
Is there anything from the back catalogue that you may have, pushed to the side for a little while, but you've come back to it and you've sort of realised, you know what, I really love that. I'm gonna throw that back in the set.
We we took a song from Stamps Town off for a little while called Bling, and then, you bring it back and you realize, the strengths of it, or that you missed it. And so I think it's nice to give things a rest every now and then. But I'm sure we'll find that with anything that we take off, unless we just don't like it.
Yeah. No, I saw you play Bling years ago, maybe 2006, I think, at the Horden. It's got this real swagger to it. It must, give you a bit of confidence, pep you up for the set.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think that the rhythm section in that song is just really great, and it showcases Mark and Ronnie, and I think that's the fans are happy when we start doing that one again.
Oh, absolutely. If we can just go back one, just to Hot Fuss, let me just put you in my 14-year-old mind. Back then, obviously I'm not 14 now, I'm nearly 30. But I went into my local music shop, saw Hot Fuss, picked it up, started listening to it. I've never stopped. In my opinion, in many critical opinions, one of the strongest debuts, at least in recent memory. What do you think it is about Hot Fuss that resonates with people so strongly then as it does now?
I think I think there were a couple of things. It was just the right place at the right time. There were messages that on there, whether it was Mr. Brightside or all these things that I've done that seem to resonate with young music lovers at the time, and they just keep, and young people still are coming across it and attaching to it. I think the heart, just the songs are coming from my heart, and we're just lucky enough that kind of transcended and people got that.
Well, something that really resonated with people was Mr. Brightside. That thing's just become a cultural phenomenon. Can you understand? I mean, it's a great song. Can you understand why it's become such a cultural phenomenon?
I think a lot of people identify with it, and it's I say betrayal never sounded so good.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I describe it, and it just makes it something that people can attach to that feeling, and it was coming from a real place for me at that time. And again, there's just something about being honest that really resonates. And it's a big chorus too.
Oh, massive chorus. Do you finish a hook like that and you go, "Yep, that's a hit"?
I didn't. I was just 20 years old, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But I do distinctly remember the first time we played it with a drummer, and I heard it with a beat, and the hairs on my arms were standing up, and that was strange for me because that had only ever happened to listening to New Order or whatever it was. It was weird that it was our song, and so I felt like there was something, but I didn't know obviously that it would become what it's become.
Is there anything planned that we haven't seen before for the Imploding Mirage tour?
We're working on that right now. I think it's just going to be, we try to keep improving as a band, and then also with the stage and with new technology, and try to do things that seem to fit, with what we are about, and we're putting it together right now, and it looks like it's going to be something really cool.
Awesome. And just curb my curiosity, Diamond on the soles of her shoes, is that a Paul Simon reference in Caution? I think it is. Please say I'm right.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Wonderful.
Paul's always in the pot.
Oh, yeah. Brandon Flowers, man, thank you so much for joining me today. A massive fan, have been for years. It's an absolute pleasure to catch up with you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.